learn how to fight through those tough times, but I guess it should be over here. D. Then I can't see. Put it over here. Good. Fine. This will be fine. It's fine. Fine. It's a little light out right now. Doesn't really matter. So should probably look for what I actually want to edit. Or do I want to critique? Who knows? Look at some photography news today. We will chat about whatever you guys want to talk about. Bullshit. It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. Yeah, so I'm still working through some of my Estonia photos. Hello. What's up? How are you? Still working through some of the Estonia photos that we took in Tallinn. Just hanging out. We will talk about some photography news, look at some photos, maybe critique some photos. Well, who knows? Just I didn't have a video lined up for this week, so I'm in Los Angeles currently, and then I had a wedding before this, so going live to kind of substitute, not putting out a video for you guys this week. And I'll be in Los Angeles until the 19th, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get something done while I'm here, but pretty jam-packed on the work schedule. So, yeah, I guess let's actually look at some photography news. One of the sites I use to look at news. Go through it. What happened? I don't really know what really happened this week. Like I said, I've been so out of it. Maybe nothing happened, and this will be short. Oh yeah, what's this? What is this? Is this the Snap? Yeah, this thing. Camera came out and it doesn't have like frame lines in it, apparently. A friend of mine was telling me about it. Doesn't have screen. Look at that viewfinder hole. I feel like we're gonna see a lot more of this, like retro digital cameras. You know, Fujifilm came out with that film-like camera recently. Just hope that they make them good quality, because I would love to be in the market for a camera like this, but I don't want it to feel like a piece of shit, some plasticky thing. And like these dials, this just looks like a toy to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 16 megapixels and a plastic bezel. It's got a built-in flash though, so got that going for it. I guess for just like a fun camera to throw around, I guess it's fine. I guess the image quality is not that bad. Yeah, I would be afraid to take it anywhere. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Thanks though for the offer. $100? You know, why not? If you're in the market for a toy-like camera, a film-like camera, maybe I'll check it out. $100. I have too much hair. This is 32 megapixel raw photos with autofocus, 40 frames a second. My lord. Is film worth it? I guess it's... Everyone's different. I don't really shoot film much anymore just because I'm really bad at shooting film. I tend to lose the rolls, or I'll get done with shooting a roll of film and then it'll sit in my refrigerator forever because I never send it in to get developed. Later on in the stream, when we get into some of the editing of the photos, you'll see that, you know, I have a lot of presets that mimic film, and it's kind of, sometimes you can't even tell the difference, in my opinion. I know that a lot of people will disagree with that, but I don't know. Film's so expensive right now. Like, let's see. Like, what's a roll of Portrait 400 right now? For 5 rolls, it's $84 for 35. 120 for 5 rolls is 70 or 80. It's so expensive, and you know that's not factoring in development cost and all that other stuff. So I don't know. I'm not going to deny people that want to shoot film. I just think that it's a little overhyped at a certain point. And this is the one that everyone... I mean, you can find cheaper film, obviously. This is just like a... What's gold at? Color Plus. You could get Color Plus for $8.50 a roll. I mean, if you shoot black and white, it's definitely cheaper. Ultramax. So yeah, film prices are just insane. So expensive. Oh, I didn't know Nikon and Red had a partnership. No idea. Interesting. Didn't Fuji come out? Yeah, right here. Fuji came out with a new camera this week. Whew. Awesome. Yeah, we're talking a little bit more about photography news right now, but I'll be editing some photos later on. Not so much video today because I don't have a video in the pipeline because it's been busy. I've had had weddings and I've had work and other stuff happening. So I have a bunch of scripts and bullet points and video ideas. I just need to get around to actually film them. Almost $17,000 for this camera. Let's take a look. Cinema camera. It'll be pretty. I'm sure it'll be really pretty. Watch that later, the promotional video. Yeah, I don't you guys are unsubscribed to the channel. If you're into photography content, you know, I'll say this, I'll do the YouTube thing and say subscribe to the channel and watch the content. I try to go live when I can't provide videos, and I try to provide videos when I can't go live, vice versa. I like going live more, to be honest, than videos in a way, but I know that I can structure out a video a lot more and provide more value for people. So open gate, all right. 8K at 30. You know, out of all the brands, I've never really shot Canon. I'm sorry. I know that they make incredible cameras. I've never dived into that world, but when did the R come out? I'm sure it's a fantastic camera. I know Canon makes incredible stuff, so you're in good hands. One thing you'll notice though is I don't really discriminate against camera brands. I know that people find their pockets in their homes, but when I'm home, I'm using a Sony camera right now. I have a Ricoh GR in my bag that I bring with me everywhere. I have Leicas at home. I started out with Nikon. I have Fuji's, so I don't discriminate. But for some reason, I've never shot a Canon. Maybe that'll be my next adventure. What did you have before that, before you upgraded to that? Have you always shot Canon? This camera's going to be a beast. I've wanted to get into bird photography for so long for some reason. It looks like so much fun. I forget who it was, but I recently saw somebody that they made a video that they just got into bird photography, and they had like this app that it would listen to the bird sounds, and then it would tell you what it was, and it's like almost they said it felt like they were catching Pokemon, but with photos and sound. And then you could put the photos into the app and you would have like your own collection. What is that app called? R100, nice. What is that app called? I have it anymore. I think I downloaded it. Maybe, let me look. eBird. App Store. It was called Merlin Bird ID by Cornell Lab. And I guess Cornell University made the app. This camera's going to be insane. Oh shit, here, this is my jam right here. It came out with a new power shot. Maybe that's okay. Maybe, is this my way into Canon? Is I get a power shot again? And yeah. Oh, it's a worse version. Okay, all right. Here, let's see what they have to say. It's a worse version of the original. Is it a money grab? Because people really want tiny cameras right now. I'm possibly going to Japan in December, so maybe I could just pick something up there. How tiny that is. I wonder how long the battery life is. All right. All right, let's see. I do like point and shoots. Here, let me go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my camera that I bring with me on all my work travels. Hang on, 2 seconds. Yeah, I enjoy point and shoots a lot. Like right now, I have the you can see it, the Ricoh VR, relatively thin. If I take this off, this thumb grip piece, pretty flat. I can put it into my pocket. I went to, like I said, this last weekend I was at a wedding and we had like a pre-drink event the day before. And I had this in my pocket the whole time, just in my jean pocket. That opens up. The lens only sticks out that far. So it's not too bad. I really like point and shoots. But even this sometimes is too big. So like that power shot, like an old Canon power shot, an old Digicam, something, you know? See, like, so, see if I can find some stuff. But like all these photos, like see these, but these were all taken on an old digicam that my at nighttime, obviously not so great, but ooh, not great. She missed focus a lot. She missed focus a lot, but not bad. Pretty good stuff. All right, where was I with these? This one. I don't really know what I'm going to do with these photos, but I'll just post them somewhere. I'm trying to find a photo for I have to adjust things based off of hotel rooms. I'm trying to find a photo for the Frame Lines street competition or street assignment this week. Their assignment is layers, like Alex Webb or other Billy D. Oh yeah, smartphone photography. I shot with like nothing but an iPhone for years. And they've been getting a lot better. Like I was looking at some sample images that the new iPhone 17 Pro has, and they're moving in the right direction as far as the digital sharpening. They seem to be getting rid of it or getting better at it. That was my one complaint always. It's just it always looks so digital. Like this was taken with a Sony camera, but some of the images that I've been seeing from this last keynote have been looking pretty good. I don't like to upgrade my phone often, but maybe. But like for years I traveled with nothing but my iPhone. Let's see if I can find some. See. Like this photo right here has been placed in galleries that I've submitted it to. Taken on an iPhone. Nothing special about it, just else. iPhone. Another one that was another one that made it into some competitions. But again, this was, man, what was this shot with? An iPhone 11. Like, look how over digitally sharpened this is, but it's not like that anymore, obviously. Sometimes I wish I could go back and retake these, but I love this picture because it's just this one guy that's hanging out and everybody else at this intersection is doing something else. I was testing a roll of film and then I went through, it got fogged when I went through security in Tokyo. back to Estonia. See what else I have in here. I haven't looked at these in a while. So many of them are not going to be that incredible, but I'd like to go through old photos. And this one. What kind of photography do you enjoy shooting the most? That's a pretty powerful camera that you have. I was already shooting on daylight. I normally always shoot daylight white balance. I never leave it on auto. I don't know when that became a thing where people started to just trust the camera. I often find this is the chill part of the stream. live. Definitely a pretty view. Shame that LA's so gross now. Still has its pockets though, obviously. Not horrible. I lived in California in this area for 7 years, 8 years. Dude, I loved her dress. I just wish I was in a better spot. I wanted to be angled more in front of her so I could actually see her face. But I didn't want to run down the street and freak her out. Definitely go to Old Town Tallinn in Estonia. Incredibly beautiful place. Let's see. I think. Yes, sir. I'm gonna pull it, stop, add this Portra 400 preset. Lift it just a bit. The sun was just so pretty here. The cafe. Goodness, it was warm in there. Snapshots of nonsense. Oh, dude, this was insane. It's like a virtual reality walking tour. My computer would load these images. They're all wearing these headsets. Doing a walking tour. It was wild to watch. It seemed kind of fun, but this guy was in it. I did not take it off at all. He was locked in. Sorry, I can't see you. I'm in 1939. Is she looking at me? What is she looking at? Guy in the orange shirt just got dragged there. He didn't want to be there. Man, I didn't take nearly enough photos when I was there. Hmm. Look, I haven't had as a productive year as a photographer that I hoped for. I definitely grew and I had more opportunities, but I just feel like I haven't gotten out to take as many photos as I have wanted. There's so many houses like this in Washington. I want to do a whole project on it in Washington State. Okay. All right, back on track. Now, figure out which ones I want to put together for a post. I'm posted on Instagram in a little bit. We're gonna do this one. Full screen for a second. This one. Create an album. You. All right. Back to here. Okay, that one. This one, I really like this one. I think, I know the M&M sign is kind of stupid, boy, but you know, the enjoy together, mother and son having a nice moment together. I think I said that in the last stream when we were actually editing this photo, but I really like it. This though. Do this one. Do this one, the creepy stalker. Hit that other one, and then we're gonna add that to the mix. Do this one. We're just putting these all in a folder right now. And then we will have a carousel post on the old Instagram. Okay. I need to see if I can make this one work. I think I can. I think I can. Yeah, let's do something like this. Do something like that. Gotta get rid of the grain though. Do that. I'm gonna get rid of this grain. Fine, we'll leave it. Let's center more. But do you know what I want to do tonight? I'm just trying to think. It's 6 o'clock here. I love moments like this. Lift the shadows a little bit. Cool. That should be it. Do I want to add this one? Yeah, fine. Screw it, why not? A bunch of text messages now too. Dinner, dinner. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh Lord. Ow. See if this will work. Oh, gotta fix something. There we go.
If you try what? Hi, it's Woody.
I don't know what the hell that video was, but I didn't like that at all.
It's like a futile madman's activity that hardly could be justified to any sane person. And I'm like, I know what that's gonna look like and I don't want it. Just put in the time, be somewhere.
Yo, we're back with the episode of Walkie Talkie. Today I got the homie Conrad. Conrad, what's up?
What's going on?
Can you introduce yourself for the people out there?
Conrad Zielkowski. We're here in Brighton Beach, where I'm from, Brooklyn, New York. We're out shooting. It's 95 degrees and we're gonna see what's out there. And yeah.
Cool. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Interesting crowd. People are out. You know, this is where New York City goes to beat the heat. And we picked a good day to be out here.
You kind of grew up around this area, right?
I did, yeah.
I'll say, if you have not gone and checked out Pauly B's channel, definitely do so. The dude makes solid stuff.
I grew up in East New York, just down the Belt Parkway, but I went to middle school out here. Went to high school in like Midwood on Bedford Avenue, so I'm kind of roaming these streets pretty much my entire life.
How long ago did you get into photography?
Well, I pretty much grew up with a camera in my hands. My dad was a photographer, and he always like gave me a point and shoot to like mess around with when I was growing up. So I kind of got a little more serious in like middle school, high school. When I was skating, used to make videos with friends and like shoot around the city. But it wasn't really serious until I got to college when I started taking some darkroom courses. Did a minor in photography. That was like 2009, 2010, and I shot pretty much from 2009 to 2010, 2010 to 2013.
It's also a great way to find, like, his content is incredible because it's a great way to find photographers that you normally would not know about unless you're kind of deep into this street photography world. So it's a great resource. I've found some incredible photographers through his content. So again, I'll say it again. Check out Pauly B's channel. He does awesome work.
I took a break after that for a long time, and I only got back into it seriously 5 or so years ago. So there was like a 7-year lull for like various personal reasons and family issues. My dad passed in 2013, and he was like the instigator behind my interest in photography. So I don't know if it was really intentional or if it was more like a subliminal retreat away from it, but I stopped shooting like intentionally. I was still shooting situationally, like I had a camera in my hands like around friends and stuff, but I wasn't like going out to shoot really in the same way. So yeah, that only really restarted 2020, 2021 was when I
Andres, thank you for subscribing as well. It's awesome
that period,
of you.
I was doing a lot of music. I got back into playing guitar.
I appreciate all of you.
Really focused on
I don't know if you found me through photography stuff or
for a time,
you just found me
COVID
kind of
happened,
hanging
and I
out.
couldn't really do that the same way as I did.
It's all
So,
appreciated.
Picked a pursuit that I could pursue alone, you know, so to say, during those times to be able to still scratch that itch that was inside of me.
How did it feel coming back when you were like, was it like riding a bike or was it like?
It felt like starting all over, like just learning everything again. I forgot everything. It's just like, yeah, a matter of just getting out there, doing it over and over again, and you know, finally getting into that place where you're comfortable and you feel like you've let it become second nature. But
Well, so when you started shooting back in like middle school, high school, like 2008-ish, what were you taking photos of?
Should start making
It was just like my friends and I skating around the
trips
city.
to New York when I
We
have
made
time
like
off.
videos on mini DVs of like this like jack off spin off series. So it was just like us fucking around, doing stupid shit in the city. And then 2010, when I went to college, I started looking at photo books, getting into people like Robert Frank, Diane Arbus, Lee Friedlander, and that kind of like blew open the door for me. And I knew I could do something else with photography. And so I started shooting around the city. I did street between like 2010 and 2013. Not much of it is any good, but I was still out there and shooting around downtown, midtown. But yeah, since coming back to shooting,
Do you guys like this kind of photography? I know that I've been planning on making a video talking about street and its insane rise in popularity, and I often don't know where it came from. I think that it started with the YouTube world, and I noticed a huge spike during COVID. But like, it seems like everything is about street photography now, which is, whatever, it's fine. I don't personally mind it because I enjoy it, but I'm just wondering when that became a thing. Seems like that's all everybody talks about now is if you're not shooting street, maybe I'm just in a vacuum. I'm in a bubble. Who knows? Probably just in a bubble.
started with Midtown, Manhattan, downtown, shooting around Manhattan a ton, and could only do that for so long. So I decided to come back to Brooklyn, where I'm from. I started shooting in South Brooklyn, and I started shooting here like 3-4 years ago, and I've been coming out here, especially in summers when there's lots of activity, lots of people out, and lots going on. So I try to make a practice of that, and it's all becoming this part of one sprawling project that I've been working on. We've yet to see where that's going to go. I'm just amassing the negatives and seeing what all it comes out to. We're here on a weekday. It's Tuesday, so it's relatively quiet, even though it's kind of hot. Like by the train station is a little busier. We'll see what's going on by the beach. I feel like that might be a little busier right now, but yeah, just enjoying the shade for now until we make our way over there.
How often are you coming out here to shoot?
I try to make it out here like once or twice a week, usually. Not here, then other parts of South Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, Borough Park, Gravesend. I'm also shooting out in the neighborhoods around Jamaica Bay, so I'm out in Queens a lot. That's more of like a bike-oriented project, so I'm going out to like Howard Beach, Rockaway, Ozone Park, mostly shooting medium format out there. That's been going on at the same time. Like all this is like some sort of center of gravity around where I'm from out there, and like Jamaica Bay was where my family and I would go out on weekends and like go to the beach and hang out. And my dad had a boat out there, so we would sail around there a lot. So I feel like I'm always coming back to where I came from in a way, and trying to relive, I don't even know what you want to call it, but somehow take some shard away from it.
Do you consider your South Brooklyn work and your Jamaica Bay work separate projects? I know on your website you had them separated.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to
thought about doing that.
Compartmentalize every.
I've thought about going back to where I grew up in South Florida and doing like a photo project. I have so many fond memories of areas, and I never captured them the way that I wanted to. So I've definitely thought about going and doing that.
And tried to keep
Maybe
it
I'll
separate.
turn it. Maybe I'll do a series or a book.
As I amass more of the work, I'm starting to see it as one big project that somehow is all going to fit together. I used to like try to keep it separate when I would post to Instagram, like this neighborhood or like this area, this project, or like my work from Poland. I would keep that separate. But what I've been doing now is kind of just like sitting on it and not really doing much with it, and just seeing how it all fits together, and putting it all together and seeing how this photo from like one area works with this photo from another area, and kind of trying to make one big thing from it all. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. But that's kind of the idea right now.
When you had them separated in your mind, was your mind thinking of them as separate, and did that affect the way you were shooting it?
It did. Like I would use different cameras, sometimes different film stocks, and like I had a very like clear goal. Like this is going to be this project, and I'm going to use it as like the work from Jamaica Bay. This is going to be like the South Brooklyn work, and they'll never meet, and it's going to stay separate. So I had a different approach. I would like have a slower setup and how I take the photos. Like I wouldn't shoot like I shoot in Midtown out here, but now I'm just like kind of more loose with it and like kind of just letting what I learned over there influence and go into what I do here. So something I really like picked up on from just looking at lots of photo books and reading interviews, watching interviews, Lee Friedlander especially, like what he does with his archive, where he just like shoots a ton and builds up a massive archive and then makes a book of like road signs or like the desert landscapes and like real estate and what have you, and lets the archive dictate the project rather than the other way around. And I think that's been kind of my approach.
Kind of a cool way to look at it.
So,
How often are you going back to Midtown to shoot?
I go there like usually 3 to 4 days. I'm there more than I am anywhere else because it's closer to my work. So like I'm able to like get a full day of work and also shoot without like taking the hour train ride out here. Where I go is very situational with weather, day of the week. Like if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, oftentimes I'll go out to Midtown because it's like midweek there and you have crowds. Or if it's like a weekend, I'll come out here or I'll go somewhere. If it's a Sunday, I'll go somewhere where it's usually more quiet, where I don't really shoot normally midweek because I don't need the crowd there. So I'll go to like Jamaica Bay on a Sunday and like make a day over there.
You also have a job.
I do,
photography isn't your full-time gig, right?
I have a day job, yeah,
Day
or a
job.
night job. So
Yeah, okay, so you work nights.
yeah, I'm able to start work at 6, have my whole day of shooting prior to that. So it's kind of ideal. It's what lets me shoot every day the way I do.
Do you find that you have a good balance of like your shooting, your work when you work night shifts, and then also maybe like a personal life?
It's hard. The hardest part is, I think, processing and scanning everything myself on top of having a job, on top of having like a personal life, because that takes up a massive amount of time. It swallows up like my nights. That's basically like my processing time. Oftentimes it intrudes upon like my personal life. Like I'll have like no time to spend with friends and family and my girlfriend, and you know, it's difficult, but I try to make as much time for them as possible. And this is such like a crazy pursuit to do, street photography in general, where you're out all day. You have to be out all day. It's like a futile madman's activity that hardly could be justified to any sane person, just for the amount of time that you have to pour into it. I'm out for 6 to 8 hours a day, and then I'm just like working on my archive for the rest of the night. So also like what you take away from all those hours spent is not much. You're gonna see maybe a handful of photographs that you like if you're lucky.
Right.
One, more likely.
That's the hardest part about it.
Yeah, it's a difficult juggle. I'm gonna ask this woman for a portrait right here, smoking. I have a feeling she's gonna say no, but we'll see. The guy in the window behind.
I get asked a lot as to why I travel alone quite frequently for like personal vacations and stuff. I mean, I have a partner, her and I have been together for 10 years, and you know, we take trips together, of course, but a lot of people find it weird that like in December I'm planning on going to Japan for a month, and for 2 weeks of that trip I plan on just being completely solo. Like what he said just now, where you're out, you know, 6 to 8 hours a day shooting, and that's all you're doing. It's often unfair, I find, to ask people like, hey, I'm gonna go on this trip and you're gonna see me maybe for dinner, maybe for lunch, and the rest of the time you're either gonna be walking with me aimlessly through the streets, almost watching me get punched in the face because I take random pictures of strangers and they don't like it. So yeah, come and enjoy this lovely vacation with me where I just take a bunch of photos and then I spend all night in the hotel going through those photos and doing it all again the next day. So that is why I try to take time for myself to go and shoot alone, because I find that it's often unfair to ask people to be a part of that. Nobody wants to travel like that unless you're another street photographer, which that in itself can be challenging to go out with other photographers.
It's too good. Hi, how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm a photographer, and I just noticed the pose. I like the light, how you're sitting. I was wondering if I could take a quick photograph. No? It's all right. Have a good one. Yeah, I was right. But, you know, you got to try. It's a numbers game, yeah.
How receptive are people usually to photos?
Usually, I usually get a yes. I'd say 80% of the time I get a yes. 20% of the time I get a no. I have a pretty good intuition of when someone's gonna say no, but sometimes I'm like foolish enough to do it anyway. I think it's just also how you approach it and like energy you put out. Also like the person's like what they're doing. If they're like in like an environment where like they're in the middle of something, it's a little less likely. That's why I wanted to do it when she was alone rather with that other person. But anyway, she would have probably still said no anyway. All right, we're gonna hit a landmark here that I always like to revisit, and then we'll head up to the beach. Yeah, so far, no ass beatings.
Yeah.
I've had a few like people grab me, threaten me, get upset. The worst was when I got a photo of a guy with a rat in his hand, and I flashed him on 7th Avenue. And he had a rat like and with the tail sticking out between his hands, and he immediately like turned around, grabbed my jacket, and he's like, delete it. And I obviously had a film camera, so I couldn't. I really had to like work my best to diffuse the situation and get him to let go of me.
Was it worth it?
It was. I mean, the photo, like you could see the tail kind of sticking out. I wish you could see the body more, but I'd say it's worth it. Yeah, just because I got it. But this was a landmark I wanted to point out to you. Every time I come back, it's a little different. Now it's got a little urn on it. I used to have a head 3 years ago. The head's gone now. Someone ripped it off.
I need to find a photo
but, you know,
for this
I always like
competition.
to come by and pay my respects.
Keep thinking about it
It's
this month.
utterly
I just
bizarre.
don't,
It used to be, I think, an Abe Lincoln kind of head. It's a tax office, so that somehow inspired that. But do you know God loves you? God loves you, loves Sam.
Does the wording change on that?
It does. I've never seen this one, so. Yeah.
What's the camera setup we're using today?
Today it's a Leica M4, 28 Elmerit, and maybe a 7, 65 millimeter. Yeah, it's my usual go-to.
What film do you usually rock?
HP5. Yeah.
In both?
In both, yeah. Shoot color occasionally.
Hey, he's got the same watch as me.
For like cost sake and also
Casio Bros.
I have a darkroom at home, which I don't really use right now, but pieces of a puzzle.
All right, how would you describe your photography as it is in the past year or so?
I'd say it's documentary, street work. It's really like a blend of everything. I do candid, I do planned photographs, so to say. I take pictures of people, I take pictures of objects. I use different cameras, different formats. I try to make something, synthesize it out of it all, and somehow make these different approaches all work together and speak to each other, but I don't really know how well it's going, and try to somehow put it all together against all odds.
Who would you say is your biggest influence when it comes to photographers on your overall photography?
My overall photography, I'd say maybe Boris Mikhailov, Ukrainian photographer. Started shooting in the 60s, 70s. He's still working today. Lives in Berlin. It's a big influence. He did a great book called Yesterday's Sandwich, which he takes negatives, puts them together, and makes prints of that. Also just takes like regular, straight documentary style photographs.
That's kind of sick.
Takes like crazy nude self-portraits, photos of like his girlfriends, and just like his life in general, like everything around him, like his personal life, surroundings. And yeah, he also shoots all formats. He's got a beautiful panoramic series from the 90s in Ukraine, which he tints the negatives with cyanotype blue. I saw that at a gallery a few months back in New York. That kind of blew my mind, and I've been thinking about it ever since, and kind of exploded the possibilities of what a photograph can do. So he's definitely been a huge influence. Michael Ackerman too, love his work. Was in Berlin a few weeks ago and went to his exhibit at a caretaker's house in a cemetery, in which the entire house was taken over by his photographs. And it was an old cemetery in the middle of Berlin. His photographs from his work in New York, his work in Poland and Germany, I think too, where he's based out of. He kind of does a similar thing where he just takes photographs of everything, different formats.
Oh my God, my eyes.
Different subject matters.
Allergic to something in this room?
Lets them all speak to themselves. He's like project-based, but he also does like street work around New York, where he's like walking around with like a Holga and letting the light leaks in and having this like kind of.
That's another thing that I really love about watching these videos is the photographer's perspective and not their perspective, but like other photographers that inspire them. Another way to find really good work. Like this Boris guy that he just talked about. They were flashing some images on screen, and I'm going to check him out now because of it. Looks great. Looks really, really good.
Tactically imperfect aesthetic that really works for him. So yeah, that's another big one. Igor Posner too. He does a lot of work around here. He did a lot of work around here. He has a book called Cargo, neighborhoods in South Brooklyn, Brighton Beach, Borough Park, Bensonhurst, and he's from Russia. I think he moved to California at a young age, then moved back to New York, and then moved to New York later on in life after visiting South Brooklyn and like realizing this is where he wants to make a project because of like its connection to diaspora, exile, immigration, and it kind of like drew him to move to the city. And it's really beautiful work. And I only discovered it after I started shooting out here, and I was like, holy crap, like this is what I wanted to do all along, and like it's out there and someone's doing it and doing a great job of it. So
how did that affect the way you looked at your work that you had done to that point?
Well, I saw that it was better, and I like was humbled, but it didn't change how I approach it. Like I know I have my own approach, and like I want to keep making work and producing piles of images that.
All right. I think I'm gonna go out. I think I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna go out. I probably waited a little too long, but the light is beautiful right now. So I'm gonna go take the Ricoh. I'm gonna go shoot some photos. Thank you guys for joining this random ass stream today. I just wanted to go live for a little bit and kind of talk to everybody and see what's up. Like I said, I didn't have a video planned for this week, so I wanted to go live instead. Yeah, we've been hanging out. Awesome. If no one's in here, awesome. So I will be live at another point, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Who knows?